The term homewrecker should be reserved for cheating spouses only. Often when a person cheats on their spouse, the person they cheated with is called a homewrecker. I feel like this is unfair and takes the blame away from the person who cheated. Often the other person doesn't even know they are being used to cheat, so it's really unfair to blame them at all. Even if they knew, they still aren't the ones who broke their vows and actually destroyed the relationship home, so calling them a homewrecker isn't even accurate. TBF, the spouse has the unique title of cheating bastard, swine, or equivalent expletive. I reserve it for women and men who know that men or women are married and still get with them. Married people should learn to say no or break up first. We already have a word for cheating spouses, we call them cheaters. If the affair partner knew the cheater was married, homewrecker fits them. If they knew it's a person okay with helping the cheater hurt their partner that way, they are okay with wrecking homes. It isn't the same as the cheating partner, I'll accept it's even not as bad. I'll give you that there's plenty of examples where blame is placed in weird priority. But the person okay with taking a part in that is still gross to me. So do you have another term for that you want to submit? If they didn't know, that's a different story. I wouldn't call someone a homewrecker if they genuinely didn't know the person was in a relationship. And yes, the person who actually promised to be faithful is more in the wrong than someone who knowingly interferes in a relationship. But both of those people still suck, regardless of who sucks more, and regardless of what you call them. You're simply wrong. Words have meaning. When you know and do it, it makes you an accomplice and it's unethical. He cheated on me doesn't need a special bad name because it's inherently terrible and everyone pretty much agrees. I think when we debate terms to describe people involved in infidelity, to protect anyone's image that's directly involved is a silly endeavor. Making this change has zero value, causes no changes in suffering, and is literally a semantic argument. It takes two. Always has, always will. I'm guessing someone a homewrecker? There's already a word for the cheating spouse, adulterer. We don't need to change the definition of an existing word. Even if they knew, the sick still aren't sick. The ones who broke their sick vows, if they knew, then they also did a horrible thing, and it's good that we have a word for them. It's like exclusively used for people who know the cheater has a spouse. You're a special kind of stupid if you think that calling the person the cheater cheated with a homewrecker does anything to absolve the cheater of their actions. Homewrecker should be reserved for people who seek out married people. Cheating bastard bitch should be reserved for cheating spouses. It should be used on them, yes, but if you knowing enable a cheater, you wreck the home just as much. Let's be very clear, it's the female affair partner who is labeled a homewrecker. Never have I heard of a single man who is having an affair with a married woman being called a homewrecker. It's a word used to slut-shame women. That said, if the woman in question knows that the man is married, then a healthy dose of shame is warranted, on both sides. But the term homewrecker is very gender-loaded and misogynistic. There are definitely people out there who are more than willing to allow cheating to happen for the simple fact that they dislike the partner, and they deserve whatever name they are called. Well, if you know there is a spouse, and you still choose to cheat with them, you're still as responsible for being a homewrecker as the cheating spouse. If you are an innocent party and was lied to, then not a homewrecker. Fun fact, you can sue the person your spouse cheated with for damages if you can prove the affair happened. No, it shouldn't. Just because you saw a single instance where the term was applied incorrectly doesn't mean the term needs to be redefined. If you know someone is married taken and you help cheat, you're a homewrecker. You don't get to go on free without consequences. I reserve the word homewrecker for people who are knowingly wrecking someone else's home by fucking someone who is married, but not to them. The cheating spouse isn't a homewrecker, they're a total piece of shit cheating asshole, but not a homewrecker. To an extent. If you know someone is in a relationship and is putting the moves on you, you tell their partner. Choosing any other course of action is evil. Why is the label so important? They just fucked your life up, call them whatever. Also, what's OP's opinion on people who have been dating a long time and live together? Does their home not get wrecked? Or is it just the sanctity of marriage that concerns you? ¿Por qué no los dos? They both are, but there are people who genuinely take joy out of wrecking homes. They're homewreckers. My husband's ex told him when he caught her cheating that she felt she was addicted to it and enjoyed it. In that case, I'd call her a serial homewrecker. Doesn't mean that her creep AP wasn't one either. Even if they knew, they still aren't the ones who broke their vows and actually destroyed the relationship home, so calling them a homewrecker isn't even accurate. If they knew and went in with the intention of being malicious, then yeah, it kinda does. They're not the most at fault, but there is still some fault. It's also almost exclusively used for women that married men had affairs with. I've never heard a man referred to as a homewrecker. It's got layers of misogyny to it and absolves men of the full accountability they owed to their partner. Call them what you want. The semantics aren't gonna change what they decide to do. But no homewrecker is designated for people who cheat with a spouse under the knowledge that they are taken, thus wrecking said home. And you can absolutely blame those people if they know. I agree the spouse who is doing the cheating is a homewrecker. But if the person they are cheating with knows they are married, they are both homewreckers. Nah, cheating son of a bitch is way better. I call my cat a homewrecker. I've had tenants that were homewreckers but had nothing to do with relationships. Very popular opinion. Reddit loves excusing the other woman man and blaming only the married cheater. I think the term implies intending to act in a way that wrecks a home, rather than having actually wrecked a home. So, yes, it's unfair to use the term for someone who didn't know their lover was married. If they knew, they're a homewrecker, even though they were not the sole culprit and even if the home was not ultimately wrecked. There are women who specifically go for married men. Those are who are referred to homewrecker. I get where you're coming from. The spouse is the one who took the vow before God and signed the marriage license. I can think of many names for the cheating spouse, but I think homewrecker is the kindest. I personally would not even blame someone for going with a married person if trash is their thing. They are welcome to the bin. It's entirely possible for two dirtbags to both be guilty in the same situation. Happens all the time. I have to disagree. This woman I worked with told some co-workers that she didn't care if I had a spouse, she was planning on getting some. That's a homewrecker. I have a simple solution, they are both homewreckers. It depends. If a person knows someone is married and cheat with them, they are a homewrecker. If they didn't know, they did nothing wrong. Nah, it takes two to tango. If you knew the person was married and still chose to engage with them, I'll call you a homewrecker. I'm not letting my cheating father and his home-wrecking mistresses off the hook. Both suck when the AP knows the person is married partnered. You don't have to only choose one. If you are knowingly getting involved with a person who is married, that term applies to you too, not just them. Unless the extra party knows they are messing around with a married person. Now, it should be for both. When someone targets someone else who is clearly married, sure, the married person is a shit, but absolutely so is the unmarried person. Why should they get a pass? Meh, both are homewreckers. There are those that actively seek out and take enjoyment and actually getting between spouses, either emotionally or physically. It's pretty slowly sow the seeds of dissension in a relationship. So yes, anybody that does cheat, but those that also help them or are an echo chamber to. They're just normal bitching until they actually believe that they should are just as bad. Takes two to tango. I thought a homewrecker was a person who specifically takes sexual pleasure in sleeping with a married person.